problem and the associations that you have. We will come back to it later, but for now, I will show you a sample problem. What you see is a bookshelf, filing holders, books on top. This is the level of facts and figures. This is the level where nerds get excited about stuff that they like. But as you can see, there are no problems. There's a second layer to things. This is the point of view, how a problem can start to exist. There are no problems without a human articulating them. So it's most convenient that we have a human who sees a problem. And we can find this layer in storytelling, whether it's real or fictional. The theory about problems, so the science says, it requires an initial situation that you can see depicted here, and it needs an obstacle also to be seen here. And as a third requirement, it's a desired outcome appearing at the left. So I want you to just write some of the problems into the group so that you can see whatever comes to your mind. So if you have any idea, just post in on WhatsApp. You can do this during this presentation so that the others can see what you see as a problem, because it's a huge thing. There are so many different ways of having problems. So I just want to make you aware of this. There's a third layer to a problem that is relevant. This is the observation. It is about identifying a problem as such. This can be found in the area of science and research, unlike the one before, the inner layer, which it was storytelling. You have to identify a problem, and to do so, someone must not be part of the problem. This can be achieved by objectifying the point of view by external observation. You can see with this nice guy in black and white. And on the other hand, you can try to aim for neutrality. There's also a fourth layer to this theory of problems. And this is the field of teaching. Presenting already solved problems with a proper idea of how to do it. In your field of expertise, it is what you learned in your education and what you have learned from the challenges that people before you have faced. Sum up these layers. This is first the choosing tools level to solution. One inner layer is the observation. Before that, there comes the articulation. Someone sees a problem and does not know that is there. It's more or less the awareness of the obstacle. And then the inner level, it's the facts and figures, where the problem itself has its core, but the problem itself does not exist. When you're talking to someone professionally, it is often unclear at which layer we actually are. And this is most important, to have a clear conversation about trouble that is occurred. And so you need to understand the level of your opponent, who your opponent is actually facing the trouble, in which layer, and you can then act based on that. I want you to focus on this second layer, the observation layer. This means identifying the situation and the further reflection on the point of view. We actually know this already. This is the white space. The science and white space have something in common. We keep the neutrality, we stay in the white space when articulating about problems. And then there's a second choice, the tools. So you can decide when you're facing a problem, when you're facing trouble, whether you want to be at the core of it, or whether you would like to have the broader perspective, depending on the needs. And then the tools on how to solve problems, like as some depicted on right. Tools is known as teaching. This is what I do here somehow in this presentation. It's made from the errors from the past, it's the knowledge of today, and the awareness of usability of knowledge in communication in this case. When it comes to telling people about problems, we want to go back to this layer where just the man tries to reach out for the books and does not get it, because then we can empathize with the individual. So that is where we build the connection. But of course, this is not an area where we want to be when we're in the white space, or when we want to when we would like to educate people. However, it's very important to empathize with a point of view so that you can catch the people that are facing trouble. There are some narrative patterns that you should know about when telling about trouble. This is the hero's journey when someone is hesitant, when all world breaks down, and then he goes on to his way to save the entire world. It's also known as the quest. You all know that from like Ulysses from the Odyssey, or even Braveheart, like these movies. The other our more inadequate narrative pattern is overcoming the monster. It's like facing a big villain in the stories. And we can also find a good narrative pattern in From Rags to Riches, which tells us the story from a poor person that through endless suffering and work, he or she just comes to richness or wisdom and has a happy ending. Then we find rebirth, when a hero falls down and has to re-find him or herself on the way. Another one is the voyage and return, like someone seeks out, maybe like in Lord of the Rings,